Welcome to Majority Report X, the YouTube exclusive content of Majority.fm. I'm Michael Brooks.
I am Matt Binder.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm great.
So, Michael, can I ask you a question?
Please do.
When's the last time you smoked weed?
Define smoke, Matt.
When's the last time you partook in ingesting?
My
marijuana?
memory is hazy on that, but not for quite some time, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
Probably a bit longer ago than our own mayor, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Wow, really?
Apparently, there's rumors spreading rampantly throughout the city
Right.
that Bill de Blasio smokes up in Gracie Mansion. I mean, it sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't sound crazy to me. I have some buddies that are NYPD guys, and they've actually told me this.
NYPD guys told you this?
Yeah, that's right.
Now this all makes sense.
See, folks, the story here that we're getting to is that, believe it or not, and a lot of you might already know this, but for several months, there's been rumors running rampant that New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, our mayor, is currently smoking marijuana. And this has been reported in a number of different news outlets. It's not like something that some guy like on the corner is just sort of talking out of the side of his mouth.
I'm sure he is too, but...
I'm sure he is too, but, there's rumors about everybody, and this hasn't been like... But this has gone slightly past the level of rumor, and everybody was kind of like, where is this coming from that this is actually getting at? Like, de Blasio actually got asked this by, the Daily Caller, which granted is a total joke, hack right-wing site. But he actually answered this question and had to say, no, I'm not lighting up in Gracie Mansion.
He even gave the last time he did, which was actually probably further than the last time you did, Michael.
Well,
he said it was in his college days in NYU.
So the last time I smoked was at NYU, and I didn't go to NYU for college.
Oh,
so anyways, but
touche.
But look, so basically, what came out today, the next question was if he's denying this so unequivocally, and I mean, it's pretty, all kidding aside, it's very unlikely that this guy is smoking pot with his wife at Gracie Mansion.
Oh, with his wife is what you're
That was where the rumor came from. The rumor included his wife at one point. So where the hell did this rumor come from?
Maybe Dante.
And where did Dante was...
Getting back at his parents.
So but Matt, we found out today, who was spreading this rumor?
Well, it's the NYPD. Apparently, when you ask someone for the source of where they heard this from,
right,
which many different media outlets have been doing,
right,
it always ends up being an NYPD officer, specifically someone who's in the mayor's security detail.
So this is like there's like a bigger picture story to this that we'll get to in a second. But I have to say, that is crazy. If it actually is guys in his security detail, because look, if you say, how many tens of thousands of NYPD cops are there? I don't know the specific number.
It's like 30-something thousand,
right.
I think.
So if you say if some NYPD beat cop somewhere says de Blasio's smoking weed and he's able to push it because he's a cop, I don't know why you'd push it. He doesn't have any knowledge of the mayor. But, it's not going to be that. If there actually are guys in a security detail pushing this rumor, it's not really going to be that hard to figure out who they are. I mean, the mayor does not have that large of a security detail. So if they're actually doing
also
this,
pretty stunning, though. I mean, this is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of like Secret Service leaking information to the press about Obama and his family.
Oh no, we're going to get, because this connects to a whole bigger thing about how the mayor and the NYPD are relating to each other. That it's a really big deal. But just on a basic, if there was, I mean, this is much smaller, obviously, but it's not that much smaller. If there was a rumor that came out about Sam Seder and someone said it came from the Majority Report offices,
they would be absolutely correct.
This is not only with and I just want to say that up front. I'm
on the street spreading rumors about Sam Seder every day.
Everything is on the record. The only frustrating thing about spreading rumors about Sam is people say who, but at any rate.
Let's continue. Let's move on.
Little Sam Seder zing. No, we love him. But I'm just saying, seriously, you'd say, okay, who works for the Majority Report? Like a handful of people at most, right? Like by a generous count. basically,
Who's spreading the rumors about Sam? Is it producer 1 or producer 2?
or like one other person that did something at some point for the show. Like, I mean, this is like a no. So that's crazy. If someone in his security detail took that risk, they will be found out. And so that's just mind blowing. But the bigger picture here is, as Matt said, like, that is the equivalent of the Secret Service or another really important security agency leaking information on those they're supposed to protect. And we've basically seen the head of the largest police union in New York City, after 2 and great cops a couple of blocks from where I live actually were murdered by this deranged person during massive protests going on because of the lack of indictment of the murder of Eric Garner and people trying to bring up really serious issues about the NYPD and how it treats many communities in this city, communities of color, but even beyond that, frankly. There's a lot of issues here. And de Blasio has said, you know, in a very conciliatory way, he praises the NYPD, gives them a lot of support, but he's like, look, there's real issues here. And I got to talk to my son, who is biracial, who is African-American, honestly, about some things he specifically needs to take into account when dealing with the police. This is just reality. The head of the largest police union in New York, Pat Lynch, said de Blasio had blood on his hands for the murder of these 2 cops. And now we have a work slowdown, which actually in some ways is great because practically means people are just getting less tickets, which is kind of nice. But you combine that with someone in the mayor's security detail spreading a rumor about him, you really have a department that doesn't seem anchored in respecting the institutions and authority of leadership. And it's actually, you know, there's big problems in that. As funny as that specific story is, it's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just, there's something so specific about that. Like, if it came from his security detail, because that's a whole other different kind of relationship. I mean, that is like literally, and you know, he's when you are mayor of New York City, you know, there's a lot of people of different positions and titles, and maybe they have a security detail or whatever, but it's a little ridiculous. You know, even most congressmen, they walk through most places in America, nobody has any idea who the hell they are, right? But the mayor of New York City is actually a position that is pretty high profile. I'm sure there are threats on him and his family. And, you know, and I'm not saying the guys aren't protecting him, but wow, you really need to trust each other in order for that thing to work.
Hey, Michael, I just got an email from not NYPD Officer 3.
Right.
It says, shifting eyes. It says, shifting eyes.
Right.
Looking around and making sure no one's around to hear me.
Right.
Did you hear that the Mayor Bill de Blasio smokes weed? Just put it out there.
Just FYI, I saw him and his wife go to the corner bodega, and I had to drive them in his SUV to get some Phillies and knock out the tobacco and smoke some blunts together. I'm assuming they like the blunts because...
this is all in the email.
It's all in the email. I'm assuming he likes the blunts because his wife is African-American. Whoa.
The Bluntsio.
The Bluntsio. No, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is actually really crazy. I mean, if you can pound all of these things... You have like an NYPD that's just not gonna.
The blunts are in his hands.
What is like the like some officers? What have they called him? Like what's the thing they actually call him?
The Blasio.
The Blasio.
And Mayor Shalane's husband.
Oh, Mayor Shalane. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And Al Sharpton's, because they say Sharpton.
Right.
Sharpton's puppet.
That's a little dated, man. Al Sharpton looks emaciated these days. He looks like not only does he lost his weight, he looks like he should actually like eat a meal. But anyways, that's crazy. We'll keep following it. But I mean, look, but I'm just saying, like all 3 of those steps, can't trust the security detail, work stoppage, you have blood on your hands, just for saying the NYPD, there needs to be better relations between the NYPD and some members of the community, and that most protesters are like, you know, people protesting the NYPD's actions are nonviolent and not anti-police, which is just objectively true. And this is the type of response you get. I mean, that is mind-blowing.